we're finally on day 6 of creation. And this is where we come in. This is where God made the rest of the farm animals and he made the very first human beings. But we're going to wait for Justice to tell us more.
Then God said, "Let the earth be filled with animals, and let each produce more of its own kind. Let there be tame animals, and small crawling animals, and wild animals, and let each produce more of its own kind." And it happened. So God made the wild animals, the tame animals, and all the small crawling animals to produce more of their own kind. God saw that this was good. Genesis 1:24-25. He made every kind of wild animal and every kind of farm animal. He also made the creatures that move along the ground, like reptiles and insects. God looked at the living creatures that he had made, and he was pleased. Now it's time for a special creation. When God was ready to make the first person, he said, "Let's make man in our image." Something was going to be different about the man. With everything else God made, he said, "Let there be blank," and it happened. But God wanted to make man in a special way. Then the Lord God took dust from the ground and formed man from it. The Lord breathed the breath of life into the man's nose, and the man became a living person. Genesis 2:7. So God took some dust from the land he had made and lovingly and creatively used it to make a man, just like you might make something out of clay. Then God breathed into the man's nostrils, and the man came alive. Do you know what God named the man? Adam. Adam was different from the animals because when God breathed life into Adam, God gave him life. Adam could think, love, and worship. Adam could make choices. Adam could talk to God. Adam was a special creation. The Lord God put the man in the Garden of Eden to care for it and work it. Genesis 2:15. What was Adam's job? The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. God knew it was not good for man to be alone, and God knew that Adam needed a helper. Let's read from our Bible. So the Lord God caused the man to sleep very deeply. While the man was asleep, God took one of his ribs from the man's body. Then God closed the man's skin at the place where he took the rib. The Lord God used the rib from the man to make a woman. Then the Lord brought the woman to the man. Genesis 2:21-22. So God put Adam to sleep, took one of his ribs, and made a woman. God created Adam and Eve to be special to him. He created Adam and Eve in his own image. We too are created in God's image, and we're special to God just like Adam and Eve were. God looked at everything he had made, and it was very good. Evening passed and morning came. This was the 6th day. Genesis 1:31.
Oh my goodness, how special it is to be made in God's image. No plant, no animal can say the same thing. God really does love us. Let's come back for day 7 to see the last step of God's creation.